Good afternoon, community. Good afternoon. We'll be getting started in a few minutes. Thank you for all joining us here promptly. All 103 of you. We thank you for being here. So we will be getting started exactly at 6:45. The time now is 6:42. Simone, I'm going to be asking you to make the comment about the chat feature. And I'm going to be asking Latifa if you can help us out with the, would you be busy with something else, or you can help us out with the chat with the sign-up speakers part? Is that okay?
Sure.
Thank you. So Latifa, you and Quentin will do just double check the list of people to speak and cross-reference to make sure we have the correct list. And you can put it in our chat so I can have the list there. Please. Okay.
Okay, good.
You have to share it first before you slideshow. This one.
To mute your speaker.
So I'm hearing an echo when you guys speak, just FYI. So remember, we all have to unmute when someone else is going to speak.
This is the one.
Good evening, everyone.
1 second, Simone, please. One second. We didn't get started as yet. 1 second. Okay, the time now is 6:44 p.m. Today is Thursday, December 8th. Yes, I have it correct. And this is CEC28 monthly calendar meeting and business meeting. I want to welcome all of you to our community meeting, all 105 of you who joined us tonight. Thank you for being here. Without we get any further, I'm going to be asking our recording secretary, Latifa Lewis, to please do a roll call. Latifa?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. President Vijay Ramjatan.
I'm here.
First Vice President Luzal. Second Vice President Nurun Swapna.
Present.
Treasurer Utah Chair. Recording Secretary Latifa Lewis. I'm here. Member Julissa.
Here.
Member Tanya Went.
Here.
Member GK. Member Simone Dornbar.
Here.
Member Adriana Alicia. Member Quentin Mezzatine. Member J-Lid.
Thank you so much. So there's a very bad echo when you speak, so we have to figure out what's going on and see how we can fix that. But I'm sure we'll remedy it. But we'll get there. Can we please make this in a way where no one can unmute themselves in the community except those who have co-hosting rights, please? Thank you so much. All right, so community, welcome again to CEC28 monthly calendar meeting. I'm hosting from JFK Airport, but I'm here, which is important. We want to thank you all for joining us tonight. So this meeting is our monthly meeting where we discuss what's important in our community, and I want to hear your voices, the community as well. We have a chat feature. So before we go any further, I'll ask our member, Simone Dornbach, to please make a statement about the chat feature. Simone?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our December meeting. The chat is now open. Please remain kind and friendly, especially when in disagreement. If you would like to make a public comment, please type your name and speak. You can sign up until 8 p.m.
Thank you, Simone. Actually, we're going to have the sign up until 7:30 p.m. I mean, the 7:30 p.m. is when we're gonna stop the sound speaking. So to speak again, as Simone said, just write the word speak. We'll see your name, and then you will be called in the order in which you put the word speak. We'll be calling you that order, so you can make the comments in the public comment section. And our team members are tracking the names in the order in which they were submitted for speaking comment section. So without further ado, I want to make my report at this point in time. And then we're going to have Dr. Blake, our superintendent, followed by SCA, who's going to be also making a presentation. At this point, I want to address something really quickly. As many of you in the community may have known, there is an article in the Queen's Chronicle that discusses one of our council members. And this council member was appointed by Borough President Donovan Richards. We are aware of the contents of that article. We are aware of the different things that's being said in the community, but we trust that the Borough President's office and his team will do what they have to do in terms of what is the next steps for that council member or for their office. We also trust that the FACE department and FACE of the DOE will do their part to make sure we are aware of what the next steps are. At this point, our council member, Adriana Alicia, is a council member and she is present tonight. And until we hear anything differently, she will continue to be one of our council members. So without further ado, we want to welcome our amazing acting superintendent who has come to our district, hit the ground running. Last 2 weeks ago, we had a town hall where we interviewed 2 potential candidates, so himself and a next person who are vying to become our superintendent of the much amazing grade 28, right? So we are so happy to have him as our acting superintendent, who has made a great difference so far by being here. And we are so happy to have his knowledge, his experience, and his willpower to be advocating for all children at so many levels. And I want to commend him on always understanding that bringing the data and coming prepared with slides to show the community what they need to hear is very important. And I want to thank you for doing that. So once again, I want to welcome Dr. Blake, our interim superintendent, to make his presentation at this time. Dr. Blake?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here and to be in service of the community. And I just want to say that despite whatever hardships we're going through, I'm here to serve all kids and all families. So let's get started. Just a little bit about the updates. At this time, it's very good for us to revisit our vision. The vision of a community, District 28, the Grade 28, is to celebrate our differences, because we understand that woven into those differences is the knowledge that they offer us unlimited possibility to learn and expand our knowledge of and commitment to all humanity. We are beautifully diverse, coming from countless racial, ethnic, language, and believed backgrounds. We commit to striving for inestimable contribution to the lives of all our scholars. So at this time, it's sort of good for us to revisit our mission and to see who we are. And we are also rooted in great values, right, in terms of humanity and to show respect for everyone. So just want to start by saying that. Now to the presentation. So as one of my goals for District 28 is to really chip away at the attendance, chronic absenteeism in our district, right? So we had a goal that's by June 2024, we will increase district-wide attendance by 2% from 90.4 to 92%. So we are to 92.4. And of course, we will reduce chronic absenteeism over time. And what we're saying is that right now, as a litmus test, our district average is showing 92% right now, which is a big achievement. The city is showing 90.5, so we are showing improvement over last year. November, it was 91 at this time, and we are still above the city average. So this is very good. So I'm encouraging families to continue to send your kids to school, especially in these troublesome times. We want to have the kids in school. Let's talk a little bit about the HMH curriculum. There are some questions asked the last time, and I think we need to get some clarifying answers around them. So I've sort of prepared this for the information of the entire audience, is that there is an aspects of differentiation in our curriculum, right? How does the curriculum accommodate different learning styles? Well, we have different models, multiple options to help students understand, practice, respond, and express themselves. The instructional model includes whole class discussions, small group instruction, and options for building independence. Daily lessons are also organized so teachers can adjust their pacing and schedule. So yes, there is a strong opportunity for differentiation in the HMH curriculum. And differentiation means looking at kids where they are, different learning styles, MLLs, multiple language learners, English language learners, and students with IEPs. So the curriculum is already designed to have those opportunities. What about individualized education plan? I just spoke about IEPs. Yes, the curriculum is very flexible. It has so many different resources based on each child's assessed needs. Will provide appropriate level of support to really ground every child's attention in terms of what the kids are, where they are. And this is also grounded in the research. So there is an opportunity for that. The last time the question was asked, I don't know if it was answered sufficiently, so I'm prefacing by saying that yes, it will. Having been on the ground, seeing the schools read into the curriculum, definitely it is. And it also has other support services, a whole bunch of other support services, looking at different types of foundation skills, word study studio, explicit sequential systematic instruction is in the curriculum, which will service every kid, whether gifted and talented, students with IEPs, students with different learning styles, ESL and MLL. The curriculum is definitely grounded to service those students' needs. So I just want to say that after months of deliberation and review, District 28 have officially selected HMH as a universal curriculum across all districts elementary school. It's a really a K through 2 initiative. However, sorry, K through 5 initiative. However, many of our middle schools, 6 to 8, they're already using the curriculum. So we are also encouraging and supporting the rollout of those, the one curriculum across every school, which is so important. However, as I said before, it is designed to meet students where they are. So there are some kids who are really, like the accelerated kids who are doing very well. Yes, there are opportunities for those students to accelerate and to move ahead. So every aspect of the curriculum, it will service all our kids or scholars' needs. So the district will provide school-specific and district-wide opportunities with an emphasis on the 6 major literacy shifts in New York City, right? So at the end of the day, it's about trying to get our youngsters to be able to read, to be proficient readers. And the curriculum does provide an opportunity for that, great opportunities for that. So there were 3 curricular sources that we looked at. There is wit and wisdom in some spaces. There explanatory learning and HMH. And one of the main reasons why I've consulted the stakeholders, the principals, most of our schools already for many, many years have been using this curriculum. So this is nothing new. So because the majority of our schools are using it, then we will definitely go with it. After surveying the teachers and the leaders, this is a curriculum of choice. What does that mean? It means that by next September of 2024, the curriculum will be fully on board. So between now and then, we'll be providing training and resources along with the UFT, who is a great partner with me in collaboration, and the CEC as well. So we'll be providing all the resources to enable our teachers to be fully equipped so they could deliver for our students. And as I said, I've been on the ground running and seeing the elements of the curriculum, speaking to students and seeing some great opportunities in our school. Just want to highlight at this time now some of our different activities. We had a Lighthouse collaborative program. What this means is that it's an instructional improvement initiative designed to support Chancellor's 4 pillars with an emphasis on expanding our ability to scale, sustain, and restore what works through organized inquiry and sharing of promising practices. So some of those pictures capture some of the moments I was at this PS 349, the school yesterday, PS 349, and we were very proud to be hosting other District 29, our sister district, District 27 across the city. We have many scholars, teachers, assistant superintendent, district personnel came to really look and see what we are doing in. And I was very proud to say that we were really taking the cake, as it were, like the top prize, really strong instructional practices in our classroom that really wowed the visitors. Many of them commented about they could not believe that this was such a high rigor in a special education class. Beautiful. You could not decipher whether it's special ed or regular ed. All our students were performing at very high levels, and very, very happy about that. So that's one of the things, really promising practice across the district. And the leaders will tell you what I have done since I came in the district is to have everybody visiting each other's schools, starting with the principals. My next step is going to be starting with teacher leaders, teachers, and then obviously we will be seeing intermingling. I love the cross-pollination across the district, from the south side to the east to the north side. We are one district, and I'm here to really try to bridge that gap. And I've seen great strides in that direction. Also at PS 175, there's also the Lighthouse Collaborative Citywide Showcase area of focus was about career connected learning with STEM and STEAM. So right across the districts, technology is really at the forefront of what our kids or youngsters are being prepared for the next level readiness, whether it's going to be high school or careers. We're getting our youngsters ready at elementary, and I'm very proud to be leading alongside some great giants and some great educators having the same mindset to move our youngsters and our families. The UFT, as I said before, we just had a nice UFT teacher center. This is really showing collaboration. If you look at the pictures, the UFT, we know that we are different units, as it were, different units. But my job is to make sure to do what is best for kids. And if it means collaborating with, and I'm a very great collaborator, we have been working side by side with UFT. They have helped us with the training, just synergy across the district. Elected officials have come on board, really give us money for the school. And I'm also continual, I don't want to say begging, but we are trying to attract them to our school so we could even get more funds in the school. So those pictures are some of the different activities that I want to highlight and elevate in the district, and to give a special shout out to the families, to the parents. Beautiful things are going across the district, and my intention is for it to be deepened, the process, and to continue to really provide all of those opportunities for our students. I want to make an announcement that through our efforts, the District 28 is pleased to announce that we are able to secure 1,000 pairs of shoes and 2,000 pairs of socks to donate to our neediest families during this winter season. Isn't that lovely? This was done in partnership, however, with Souls for Souls, pun on the word Souls for Souls, and Miss Sidonie Thompson, who is a regional manager for the Student in Temporary Housing, and the Office of Community Supports and Wellness. So we will begin this giveaway, kick off at PS 50 on December 21st, and continue throughout the district. So if you are available, we'd love for you to come and help us with giving our families what they really need, not just educational level, but as Maslow's hierarchy of needs speak about, we have to make those foundation needs. We have to take care of people's well-being in terms of not just education, but to be the total optimally rounded families. So we have garnered those 1,000 pair of shoes, different sizes for boys, girls. Everybody will be invited, but we'll be starting with those who are the most needy in terms of that. So just want to make that announcement, and I think that's really the end of my presentation. But I just want to say thank you so much for your support in the town hall recently, and of course I continue to really lift up the district and to continue to work. And just as I said, cannot do it alone. I've been doing it with partnerships, great partnerships and relationships with my teachers, the parents, different groups I've been to, different family literacy nights. And I will continue to support those and to, as I said, to attract money to the district, because we need to elevate and support all schools in the north. So all the schools are one in my eyes. And it will be that way, equity for all. So I want to thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to present to you as I normally do, with some presentation, not just talking. But what I'll be doing, as you know, I worship on Thursday night, so I'll be around on the email driving to the service. But my district team members will be here. Dr. Hall, my deputy, will be here to answer any questions later on. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Blake, and that's great news, knowing that so many socks and shoes. Socks, Utah, not ducks. I saw your text, Utah. Socks, not ducks. Thank you so much for making that initiative very prominent in the district. And any contributions for our families who are in need is always welcome. Thank you so much. And thank you for always doing what you do, bringing the data and really escalating and lifting up your entire team. We really appreciate that. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. At this point in time, we want to remind you, if you want to speak, write the word speak, and you will have time to speak and make a comment in the public comment section when we have that time. And also too, at 7:30 is when we will stop taking anyone signing up to speak. So we have a new member, folks. We have a new member on the council. As you all know, at our last meeting, we had at our business meeting, we had an interview process where we interviewed two potential candidates to be members in our council, and the council voted, and she went through the process, and she was vetted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we have her today seated at our council, and I would like to have her introduce herself and say hi. At this time, we want to welcome officially to our council to her first meeting, Tanya Wendt. Tanya, you can tell us your name, where your kids went to school, and a little bit about yourself so the families know who you are. Tanya?
Hello, my name is Tanya Wendt. I have one daughter. She goes to PS 144. Sorry, I'm talking slowly. There's an echo. So I'm excited to be here, excited to get assigned to a school so I can kind of jump in and help out. So thanks for everybody's support.
Thank you so much, Tanya. So at this time, my dear friends, I'm so happy to see so many principals and school staff. A lot of teachers are on tonight. We have a lot of teachers on from various schools who are on tonight. We encourage you to be on our CEC meeting monthly, once a month. We are so grateful that you are here. It's a very important space. And I want to acknowledge all the principals who are here, also all the parent coordinators who are present tonight in our meeting, and all the administrative staff from various departments who are at our meeting tonight. All 132 of you who are joining us tonight here. We are so grateful for you being here. Now, this next presentation is especially important for our principals to listen to. As you know, you have gotten an email from the CEC requesting you to submit your capital plans, the capital funds request. And the council members will be looking at your request, and we're going to be nominating 5 of the requests in the entire district to submit to SCA as they determine which adjustments they need to make, if any, and maybe your request for your school might be submitted and get looked at and get them the money it needs to have it completed. So principals, this is we have this team here presenting especially for you. So at this point in time, we want to welcome our friend, our partner. She's no stranger to our district, and she is welcome. She's always wonderful in her time and efforts. Her name is Danielle Schaff, and she will present this. Danielle, over to you.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, VJ, for that very warm welcome. SCA is always very excited to be able to have the privilege to present to your CEC28 annually and to have communications throughout the year with you guys. We are excited tonight to, of course, present our new capital plan that we are moving forward with, as well as showing you what we have, some highlights from your district that we have either completed or in the process of from this year. I'm excited also to see a lot of our principals that I get to work with throughout the years. And I wanted to just highlight that my director of school construction and external affairs, Yvette Knight, has joined us, as well as our colleague and partner over at of Division of School Facilities. Our Deputy Director, Dave Abanjengo, is with us as well. So hopefully tonight we can be able to answer a lot of questions that come up for the district and within the schools, both on the SCA side and on the maintenance portion of the buildings as well. Without further ado, I'll start by sharing our presentation, and we'll start to go through that. Okay, just a thumbs up if everyone can see the screen. We're good to go? Okay. So here we have right on the cover, we see our beautiful new addition for PS 206 that just recently opened. And tonight's agenda is I would like to provide you with an overview of our February 23 amendment to the FY 2024 plan, plan highlights, capacity program, capital improvement, reservoir, the MWLB program, proposed 5-year capital plan for 25 to 29, proposed plan highlights, proposed capacity program, and then we have our comment form and of course time for questions and comments from our community with us. Just another shot of the inside actually of PS206. Oops, sorry, very sensitive mouse here this evening. It leads a corridor that leads into the cafeteria, the brand new fully state-of-the-art cafeteria. So for our recap of our 20 to 2024 capital plan, we had a total budget of $19.4 billion. Almost $8 billion of that was for our capacity related concerns, and almost 8 of that was for our capital improvements of our existing buildings. 3.47 billion was budgeted out for our mandated programs. Another further breakdown of our citywide highlights, again, 7.95 on capacity. We had an allocation of $750 million on accessibility projects, 400 million for electrification, 1.02 billion on technology enhancement projects, and 317 million for our TCU removals and playground redevelopments. Regarding our capacity project, further breaking down, we spent 5.52 billion for new capacity, which was new sites, new buildings, additions, and standalone buildings, new buildings. 806 million was spent for our replacement program, which are buildings that we have leases in that are coming up, and we have to find either a new lease for or renegotiate the lease in the existing space. 605 million on class size reduction, 267 on capacity to remove the TCUs, and 756 million on early education. Within Queens, see if I can just get rid of this little thing here. Within our Queens, this is a borough snapshot of all the different capacity projects that we have going on within our borough. Highlighted in that nice teal blue will be specific for District 28. We see that we have 2 additions that are currently in the works right now in active construction over at PS 174 as well as PS 160. There's also lease renovations going on over at PS 182 Annex. And there are 2 other projects that are unnamed so far, but we have allocated and identified the need of seats for 600 for one of them and 351 for the other project. Just a couple of inside shots of the new addition 206 for those of you who haven't been able to see how amazing it turned out. 174, as I just mentioned, on the top slide, we show the rendering. It's in gray here of what right here. The gray is the original building, and right here on the left corner is our addition. You can see here, I've sent you, presenting you with a photo of what our connection looks like here. And on the right-hand side of the screen, that is the new addition. PS 160 on top, we show the rendering of it. And on the bottom slide, we show that we now have a Bones building going up. So it's in the works. Capital improvement projects. So many of the people that joined us tonight know how capital improvement projects are created or becoming in existence. But for those of us who are new, I would like to just take a second to explain how we, the SCA, come up with projects for our schools. So there's a few different ways that we do this. One is annually, we conduct a buildings condition assessment survey. That is literally an architect of ours, inspectors, will go to join our school custodians and hopefully our principals and walk every asset, every nook and cranny of the building. We will assess and rate every component of the building, structurally, electrically, and mechanically. So no stone gets left uncovered. We then give all of these spaces a rating of 5 to 0, 5 being in the worst condition and 0 being in great condition. We do try to get to all of our 5s every year that are reported. We look to try to get to some of the 4s. Those projects that come out for us are exterior masonry projects, new windows, roof replacement, flood elimination, rebuilding of the parapets. We also have our colleagues at DSF that do a great job maintaining these buildings on a daily basis, and they will flag for us and report to us conditions that present themselves in the buildings that are a little bit out of their scope of manageability. So they will report them to us as, urgent situations or needed issues of great concern. We also have mandated repairs that become projects. There is a Reso A opportunity. So within Queens, we have extremely generous council people and assembly people and senators that love to help fund school projects that perhaps our capital monies can't get to every year. So they will help to pick up where we can't regarding playgrounds, auditorium renovations, perhaps a STEM lab, gymnasium upgrades. A lot of times our council people and politicians have helped with Reso A projects for electrical upgrades, as well as IPDVS installations of surveillance cameras. We also create projects by what our CECs give us feedback on. So those forms that everyone's going to submit and your top 5 priorities are taken very seriously and assessed thoroughly. So we appreciate all your feedback and hard work annually that you give us. Whoops, sorry. Some of our highlights here within District 28, you can see we had quite a good amount of electrical upgrades in our district, in District 28. We had over 17 at over $5 million for electrical upgrades. We had 15 heating plant upgrades, which are, in addition to boiler projects, replacement of boilers. We have also been able to conduct exterior masonry projects here, upwards of $7 million. Roof replacements, almost $14 million worth of roof replacements over 4 projects in our building, in our district. Show you just a quick pic of our junior high school 190 boilers. It doesn't want to slip to that slide, sorry. There we go. That project is coming up for completion by the end of this school year. PS 144, I know I heard someone on our council has a child that goes there. So you know that we are doing a very extensive job there. And as you can see, the new roofs are complete. We're in pretty poor condition before we got there. A full exterior masonry project, as well as all this intricate stonework, and parapets and coping stones have been replaced. So we're beautifying and bringing it back to its original beauty there. We had touched upon Reso A's and how they become projects within our districts to help our schools. The Resolution A projects are school-specific capital improvement or enhancement projects that are funded by the members of the council, the borough president's office, or individual grants. Here on our screen, you see the results of one of our Reso A projects over at PS 117's auditorium, which was just fully revamped from chairs, walls, ceiling, curtains, the works. District, oh my goodness, so sorry. District 28 highlights for Reso A. You can see that we had quite a lot of projects for technology. There were projects totaling close to $11 million regarding technology grants. We had 12 science lab upgrades at $1.8 million. There was also 3 split systems installed. One was at PS 139. That was totaling $1.2 million, as well as gymnasium upgrades, surveillance cameras, a library upgrades, playground updates, you name it, and our council and electeds are helping to do it. At the SCA, we have a very, very robust and are very proud of our MWLBE program. We are dedicated to increasing the participation of our minority-owned, women-owned, and locally based business enterprises on SCA projects, including through MWLB targets on our projects. We also run a mentor project program, which provides key support and access to capital and business opportunities for qualified emerging MWLBEs. Okay, our district highlights for our MWLB projects. We had over 11 projects, over $28 million worth of contracts that were awarded to 4 different MWLB firms. Okay, moving forward here, actually, we see the inside of our PS50 edition right there in the new main lobby. We're going to show our proposed 5-year capital plan. We are starting with a budget of $17 billion for our 25 to 29 capital plan. 4.98 billion of that is being allocated for capacity. 2.25, new topic here for us all, billion will be put to healthy schools. We will talk about that further in just a moment. Capital plan improvement, again, projects for our existing buildings, 6.37 billion. And our mandated programs have a budget we're breaking down to 3.4 billion. Okay, some of our highlights here, again, capacity will be 4.13 billion, with electrification getting boosted up to 1.4 billion. Our tech will be 1.25, 800 million in accessibility, 325 million for physical education space upgrades, and 150 million for cafeteria enhancement experiences. Regarding our 4.98 billion for capacity, new capacity is 4.1, 400 million for our facility replacement, 200 million early education, 250 million to remove temporary structures and playground redevelopment thereafter. Healthy schools highlights. So we just saw a slide that had a new topic for us that we are moving forward with in the proposed capital plan. We know how important it is and want to support how important it is to provide healthy schools, not just with food, but also with continuing to investing in electrifying our existing facilities and addressing failing boilers to provide clean and environmentally friendly facilities. We look to create healthy and nutrition learning spaces with focus on underserved schools and neighborhoods. We look to add more funding allocated to upgrade of athletic fields, pools, gyms, and playgrounds. And we'd like to continue the implementation of successful programs such as the
I apologize. I'm Event Night with the SCA. I actually work with Danielle. We seem to have lost the connection. I know that that was almost the end of the slide. So
Will we continue, or we can just continue on until she comes back? Is that fine?
Yes, we can continue on. I know that the rest of the slide had to do with the comment form. Comment form that she had mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, and her contact information, which obviously your team already have that information. So I'm here. I can answer any questions until she logs back on.
Excellent. Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Knight. So folks, that was SCA, and just so you're aware, the principals, you already received an email from the CEC asking you to send us your top 5, your top 3 actually, or top 5 capital funds requests for your school. This is important, and we have to submit. Yeah, there's a deadline to submit this by. So please look at that email. If you didn't get it, reach out to us. We can let you know. But it's very, very, very important that we get those responses from yourself so we can go ahead and deliberate and submit them to SCA before January 12th. Again, we have to submit these capital funds requests before January 12th. The council members will deliberate, and based on what you submit, we will submit what we think the top 5 requests should be submitted for consideration will be. So at this point in time, I want to go down the list of the council members to go ahead and make their comments if they have any comments to make or if they have any reports to make. So when you hear your name, you can please unmute and you can speak. Vanessa, I see your hands up. I think we have your name on the list to speak. So we'll be calling you to speak at that time when your name is called on the list. So just FYI. The time now is 7:22, so we have 8 more minutes. If there's anyone of you in the public here who would like to make a comment or private, or Latifa, can you please check and let me know if anyone who is there in person signed up to speak? If not, then we will just go along with the list online and we'll take it. So we have 8 more minutes to sign up to speak, and each person will have 1.5 minutes, which is 90 seconds to make a comment. 90 seconds. So we're going to ask Quentin, of course, our timekeeper, to give us a time check for 1.5 minutes to speak. Each council member, you'll have 2 minutes. Each council member, you'll have 2 minutes to make your comment. So at this point in time, I am going to be calling down the list. So GK, do you mind doing the time check for council members? GK? So council members have 2 minutes to make their comments and statements. And then we will have 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds for the public to make their comments. And Latifa, if there's anyone who signed up in person to speak, let me know, please. I want to welcome our community boards who are here, Community Board 12, Community Board 6, Community Board 12. Thank you all for being here tonight. We are one district, we are one team, and we are grateful for all of your support and your collaboration. So without further ado, this time we'll be asking Lou Zhao, our first vice president, to please make his report. You have 2 minutes, sir. Lou Zhao. Lou, I'm not hearing if you're speaking, you're muted.
Okay.
Somebody else on muted.
Just
Or we just turn it off. Okay, I'm muted. No, I muted it. Oh, the speaker.
Maybe take off the speaker at this point, just for now. Daniel, okay. I see your message that you're back. 1 second, Lou. 1 second, Lou.
This time of year, I actually wanted to talk more about a mission because the high school admission, middle school admission, and the kindergarten admission all either finished or started. But unfortunately, we have such big events happen in our surroundings. I mean, many people already hear the news from the Hillcrest, and it's not part of District 28, but many middle schooler in our district are zoned for Hillcrest, so this is really important for the district. One thing is in last meeting I talked about the anti-Semitic rising in school that make Jewish students feel unsafe, and this highlights event that make it more to our attention. This is a really serious thing. Also, I think if you stand one step back, not talking about the politics behind it, it's very troubling. Is in a high school that students are thinking using violence to against people with different opinion, it's okay. It's something they feel they can do it. In the same school, actually, just a short time earlier, I think it's a couple of weeks earlier, there was another incident. This has nothing to do with politics whatsoever. It was just student fight student, and the security agent have to step in and end up, the security agent got hurt, right? So those things are really important. It come to the, back to the school safety issues. So I know that the school have working very hard to bring up the image of Hillcrest, try to attract more students. And the thing is, no matter how good your program is, if I cannot send my kid over there in the morning, feel safe, then it's a big issue. Thank you.
Thank you, GK. Thank you, Luzao.
I can't hear.
Next.
You need to, because we can't hear. Can you just unmute?
Oh, one of you can unmute your computer. It's better now. Can you hear me now? Yes, you can hear me now? Okay. Next, we'll call on our second vice president, Nuran Schwabner, to make her public comment. Nuran, or report.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well, warm. It's chilly outside. I had a couple of announcements. So a few weeks ago, I was able to visit PS55 school, and I loved like how the school was doing. Everything seemed perfect, but I felt the school lacked some funding. I felt the school needs auditorium and a proper gym, because the school does not have a gym. It is basically in a classroom. It doesn't have a gym. And I would like to also visit PS 121 and PS 50 soon. I'll be making time with Dorinda. She'll help me arrange it. And about politics, I just want to, I think we need more of this, more love and more understanding and accepting. And that's all I have for today. So enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone.
Thank you, Nuran. Next, we're going to be having our treasurer, Yutao Chen.
Sorry, I don't want to be too loud. Okay, now we can start the timer. First of all, I would like to address the elephant in the room, not the audience, obviously. We all heard about the events, that the controversy about the recent social media controversies. I am on mute, yes. Okay, you can hear me? Okay, all right, good. So I think this is give me very mixed feelings. On one side, I feel like we have a lot of hatred and conflict going on around the world, around the community, which makes me a little bit sad. On the flip side, it also makes me very hopeful, because on either side, I see like love, I see caring for all the victims and for both sides. So it occurred to me that it's not the people we hate, it's a situation we hate. We both hate the situation, so we wanted to do something, but we cannot. So we resort to targeting other people who we don't share the same background or culture with, and we start attacking them, and that's the only way out. I feel like that's probably not the best way to resolve our conflicts. and think back where we start and go to support the people we care about instead of attacking each other, because they have people they love as well. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Utah. We're going to go to our recording secretary, Natifa Lewis, at this time.
Go ahead, Vijay. We didn't
Go
hear
ahead.
you last.
Go ahead, Natifa. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. In terms of updates for today, I did want to speak a little bit to the concerns that parents have, echoing some of what Lou said. The application period just ended. That was a bit concerning for parents in the transition grades. I do want to make a comment related to again the situations that have happened at Hillcrest and even our the articles and so forth related to our member. I had the fortunate experience of visiting Hillcrest 4 times in the last 2 months. Including this past weekend when my daughters who are doing high school applications took the late late high school SHSAT testing. And I want to ensure, as a school that is right in there, that the reputation of a school is not of 2,500 is not determined by 25, 50, 200, or even 400. I'm happy to say that I've always felt really safe going into there. And the first of the 4 visits that I've had in the last few weeks was a wonderful event, renaming the gymnasium after a special coach who had been there for 30 years. We were able to have a great community application and so forth. I am sympathizing with all of the communities in terms of the varying views. I do feel that in D28, as a very diverse district, we have a lot of concerns. We've had our math grades from last year were horrible. There's a lot of things on the academic part that needs to be there. Safety is definitely a concern, but I want us to make sure that we do not lose in the weeds. Thank you. As soon as we finish, you have time.
Thank you, Natifa. At this time, we're going to be calling on member Simone Dornbach.
Sorry. No, I am. You can hear me all right?
I can hear you, yes.
Thank you, and sorry about that. It was a very busy month. I was able to have my first school visit at Junior High School 190 in Russell Sage, and I truly enjoyed the opportunity to tour the building with the principal. It's a wonderful school. They're doing many things really great. I was impressed that they have a parent advisory council and a student advisory council where they can receive direct feedback from parents and from students. And they do many other great things. So it was really a wonderful opportunity to get to know that school a little bit better. The next step is to attend their SLT and do more school visits with my other liaison schools. I would also like to make people aware that my own kids' school, which is a district elementary school, is currently also open for application for kindergarten and soon for pre-K. It's the Academy for Excellence Through the Arts. Every child in District 28 is welcome to apply. It's a lottery. It doesn't matter where you live in District 28. You, as long as you put the school as the #1 choice, you enter the lottery and have a chance to make it. I will plug the information into the chat, the website. There is currently no open house. We hope that there will be another open house for kindergarten families. I would also like to let the public know about an event that parents from equity groups in PS 175, PS 303, PS 196, and PS 144 have been working together to host a Freedom to Read event, which is next Saturday, December 16th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The public is welcomed to join. There will be panel discussions, there will be activities for kids, there will be book readings and authors, there will be books. It will be wonderful. And I need an extra time because I'm the co-appointee, and I just want to express my support for Adriana. I have been speaking with the borough office. They know my opinion. I have been speaking with Adriana. She knows my opinion, and that's all I can say at this point. Just like Nurun said, we all need a little bit more of love. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. Thank you, Simone. Next, we'll have Councilmember Jalen.
Okay, good evening. I hope everyone's well, and I hope my voice is clear. Just a few things to report. This past month that I've been on the ground, it's actually a good month to start getting connected with schools and also supporting certain events. So for example, I visited PS 196, met with the school principal and a parent coordinator, and just to introduce myself and also get to know them a little bit more so that we'll continue to build the relationship. And also I've been invited back for another event, and I actually wanted to go back too so that I can stay involved and connected as opposed to be just meeting people, because they also have events like winter concert that is going on in the school. So I'm actually using these type of opportunities to stay involved in a school, and my plan is to visit a couple of other schools that I've been assigned to. So I'm started out with PS 186, still waiting on the other two schools for correspondence, and then I'll be doing the site visits too. And my plan is to visit schools throughout the year, my schools that I've been assigned to, and stay connected, and then reporting back and also offering my help. Another activity I was involved in, and I thought it was great, and I actually brought my kids to support the event, which was the STEM Expo, happened in middle school MS 217, 217, and I brought my own kids to support the events, and also I saw a lot of other kids there too. There was great events, and I also met a few people there, including Dr. Blake, and I spoke with him, introduced myself. So I just kind of getting around the community more so outside of Forest Hills, and getting myself known and also meeting more people. That's it for me for the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Jalen. Next, we have Julissa. Julissa.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes,
All right,
very
I'll
clear.
keep my
Clear.
comments brief.
No, it's perfect.
I do have to mention that I heard a former student where my daughter goes to school, PS 101, was harmed in a fight. I don't think it was related to any specific hate crime, but someone could correct me if I'm wrong. For me, when I hear things like that, I'm just disheartened that children are going to places like McDonald's on Austin Street after school. I think it for me, the first thing that comes to mind is what are kids doing after school, and the after school programs out there and the opportunities for students to be somewhere learning even after school in a safe environment. On a positive note, I wanted to mention the JFK Redevelopment Aviation Academy. I put my daughter in there, just applied randomly, was accepted. And then her friend, and they were raving about it. They're in second grade, and you can apply, like just it's random. Just get your child applied early when they offer it in the spring. But it's a great program that's 4 Saturdays. It was between mid-November to mid-December. So these are, I just love hearing about these free opportunities for students in our area to go to on Saturdays. And then as for the schools that I'm the liaison, I think I mentioned at the last meeting that I did get to attend MS 217, which was a wonderful visit. It's a fantastic school with Principal Burns, one of the best. Wanted to visit the other ones, didn't get a chance to. Please have your principal reach out to me if you see that. I'm your liaison, and I'll also try to get to the other schools.
Thank you, Julie. Are you able to put down any information about that program on the chat, please? Or if you send it to the CEC, and then we can always post it on our website. That would be great. The program you mentioned, and thank you all for your work so far. Next, we're going to be having is Quentin Mezitin. Quentin.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Dr. Blake, for answering those questions from HMS that we had a couple months ago. I really appreciate you taking the ground running as your new official position as our superintendent. I look forward to a lot more meetings with you. Now, I've always been mentioning the disconnect between D75 and general education, mentioned in a lot of things that's not mentioned. I feel like D75 goes into the shadows. And, you know, sometimes I know some people probably think that I'm just making this up a little bit, or maybe I'm exaggerating, until I went to a school. And I love to read to you my wonderful report that I received at a gratitude event, at a time that we should be grateful, celebrating things that we're grateful for. So this was at PS 140. First, for some reason, at PS 140, they're preventing the teachers from D75 to enter the building prior to 7:30 a.m. when their teachers are allowed to go in at 7 a.m. despite D75 students starting 30 minutes earlier. That doesn't make logical sense, but it's happening on a consistent basis. Next, let's see. Our students are entering the building at 8 a.m., having breakfast in the classroom. And at 10:15 a.m., our students are going to the cafeteria for lunch. Who's hungry at 10:15 if you just ate at 8? That's a snack. Okay, but that's happening. Now, when PF 140 students are in the cafeteria for breakfast and lunch, our students are not allowed to use the first floor bathroom in the cafeteria, which is closer, because I've been to that school, 20 feet away. Also, our staff is not allowed to walk through the cafeteria. They are told to walk up to the second floor, walk down the hallway. Oh man, give me one more minute. And down to the other flight of stairs towards the main entrance. So these are little kids that are holding this now extra long because it's inconvenient to go to a closer bathroom. Next, our students are only limited to 2 periods a day to the playground, 9:30 and 12:30. Very inconvenient. During our half day on November 9th, PS 140 did not tell us they had a half day as well. So during our lunch period at 10:15, PS 140 kicked our students out of the cafeteria so their students could have lunch. Wow, this is not something to be grateful for, but this is what they're dealing with on a daily basis. On October 12th, Miss Erica's class, which is actually the class that my son is in, and they were scheduled for a field trip to the main site to learn about recycling jobs. I was excited. I sent my son. I was looking forward to the pictures. But when going to the front of the building at 9:30, the bus was not there. Our students and staff waited outside for 30 minutes. When they followed up with the bus company, they were informed that the bus was no longer needed by the PS 140 staff, as the bus was not needed for their trip, so they sent it home. So my son did not get to go to that trip along with his other students, peers that were mad, crying because they were forgotten about. So they stayed in class cutting up stuff, which was cute, but not what we wanted.
Can you wrap it up?
It was never apologized for. It was never recognized. And it just goes into the dark, goes into this place of just who cares? So that's how they feel as teachers. That's how the students feel. That's how the parents feel, because I also went to 811Q's Father's Breakfast and shared some of these same concerns with other fathers. And I'm just like, what is going on? I went on FACE's town hall last month, and they promised that this month, ending this year, they will send me a good resolution that they've been working on to bridge the gap with communication so we could prevent this from happening furthermore. I look forward to working with you, Superintendent Blake, to help bridge that gap. That's my time. And this is my friend right here. So if you mess with her, you mess with me.
Thank you, Quentin. Next, we have Adriana Lissier.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. As you may know, earlier this week, the first mayoral control hearing was held in the Bronx, and there was a very strong showing. Parent leaders, community leaders, and community organizers in the Bronx have a lot to be proud of. I applaud their efforts and hope that we are able to replicate that here in Queens. Lucky for us, the next mayoral control hearing is scheduled for Monday, December 18th, from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Thomas Edison High School. The link to testify is now up on the New York State Education Department website, and I will share that link in the chat now. Please note that public remarks from members of the public that live or work in Queens will be prioritized, and statements are limited to 3 minutes. Advance registration to present oral remarks or to testify in person is required. If you are interested in making a statement in person, please register no later than 6 p.m. on December 16th. Written testimony submitted electronically will be accepted via the written electronic testimony form at the same link. Fact sheets and talking points for the mayoral control hearing have been shared by DINYCS. These materials are currently available in English and in Spanish, with potentially additional translations being made available in the coming days. I will submit all of these to the council to be shared with the community via email. I also want to mention that CEC28's town hall with Chancellor Banks is in a couple of months. All of the details will be shared widely once they have been finalized. And in addition to that, please keep an eye out for communication, emails, flyers, etc. for Lobby Day 2024. If you are interested in attending or getting involved, please contact our incredible parent and community liaison at the Queens UFT, Delcy Rodriguez. I will put her email in the chat as well, but it's drodriguez@uft.org. I do hope that those 3 events are as well attended as tonight's meeting, and I look forward to seeing all of you there. Have a good night.
Thank you, Adriana. Next, we have Gurmurthy Kalyanram, GK.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. My name is Gurmurthy Kalyanram, and I have nothing to say except this: happy holidays to you. And I plan to connect with my liaison school Q144, 74, and middle school 538 sometime before the holidays and visit with you. I just have an aside. Myself and an MIT professor, Rob Freund, we have been trying to reach out to very high schoolers who are graduating and applying to colleges from very disadvantaged families. We have done information sessions in Somalia, India, and this connection, we connected with the Chancellor's office. We haven't been able to do because a bit late, the special assistant to the Chancellor and these pathways to students we connected. And also got to meet several of our high school students here for interviewing as they apply to MIT. I've been in touch, and I look forward to connecting with my schools after the holidays. Thank you all. Happy holidays to all of you.
Thank you, GK. And last but not least, Tanya Wen.
Hello, I am extremely brand new, and so I don't have many updates. I'm probably going to concede some of my time, but I'm looking forward to being assigned to some schools and taking them away from some of the people here so that I can be assigned them and I can start visiting them. Our council does have a lot of representatives from the northern part of the district, so I'm hoping to get some schools from the southern part of the district so I can go and explore and see, what the rest of the district looks like and help advocate for them as well. So I look forward to seeing and meeting some of you from across the aisle. Thanks.
Thank you, Tanya. So my report is pretty much similar also. this past month I visited Queens Collegiate. I'm the liaison for that school, and I met Principal Harold, who is no stranger to our community here. And it was a wonderful visit. I'm so proud of all the amazing work Principal Harold does for Queens Collegiate, and keeping that school really at the top of the bar. The students are so involved, the art in the walls, the classroom, they're so engaged in science labs. Really, really amazing. And Mr. Harold, we are grateful for the work that you do. And this past month also, I sat in, as you all know, going forward, CEC members, the liaisons, sit in as part of the parent coordinator hiring process in the schools. So I had the opportunity to sit down with PS 140, Principal Robin Signal Hasbury, and they went through the process to hire a parent coordinator there, and it was a wonderful meeting, and I'm looking forward to meeting the parent coordinator very soon. Last but not least, please mark your calendars, February 8th. Thursday, February 8th will be our town hall for the Chancellor. So February 8th, Thursday, February 8th, CEC28 will be hosting our town hall with Chancellor Banks, and that will be taking place at MS 217. MS 217. That will take place there at that time, and you'll get more information. Of course, we want to get your comments and feedback, so we're going to be sending out a notification via email to all the schools, to send to all the parents. We want to hear your questions. We have a very big task to make sure your questions are heard and to make sure they're listened to and get answers to. So please submit your questions to the CEC link that we'll send out so we can have it for consideration. And that meeting will be hybrid also, in person and also virtual that day for the town hall. So at this point in time, I think we have the list here with the speaker list. And I will look at that list now. It's in our chat. Is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, beautiful. So when I call your name, you will be called to speak. You'll have a minute and a half, 90 seconds. So Quentin, can you please do the time check? And when you're done at this point in time, we will have to move on to the next person because we have 23 people signed up to speak. So at this point in time, we're going to be asking Latifa or Dorinda to please keep a list on the chat so you can unmute the people who have to speak as we dare call. So in terms of the first 5, I'll give you your name so you know you're there. It's Aaron Fernando, then Irene Rivsky, Elena Amenova, Jean Han, and John Rosenberg. Those are the first 5, and then we'll follow the list after. So this time, we'll be asking Aaron Fernando to please start your public comment. Thank you. If Aaron is speaking, is he in person or he is in virtual? Because we can't hear him.
Cannot hear, you have to unmute him for there. They cannot hear him.
Start again.
So he's in person, okay.
No, but he doesn't have our.
Oh, gotcha.
Right, yeah. Okay. Yes, please.
So I was saying, hello, my name is Aaron Fernando. I am a lifelong resident of South Richmond Hill, a lifelong public school student from pre-K to law school. I wanted to open by saying Free Palestine to everyone on Zoom and everyone here. I'm the only in-person speaker today. That is not anti-Semitic to say. I'm saying it because thousands of anti-Zionist Jews and their allies have said this over the last few months. And yet Adriana is being punished simply for opposing the ongoing genocide of the Palestinian people. 15,000 Palestinians are dead, including over 7,000 children. We cannot remain silent, and I am inspired by Adriana for not remaining silent. It would be so easy for her to do so. I only learned about her this morning, and I decided to come out here today because I believe in what she says, I believe in this community, and I believe in freeing Palestine. What you are seeing today and the speakers you will hear from today, that the many speakers you will hear from today are from a right-wing mob that are infiltrating our schools and trying to take our city backwards. There are speakers today from Moms for Liberty, a hate group that has literally quoted Adolf Hitler in their newsletters. This is not a group that cares about anti-Semitism. They have literally quoted Adolf Hitler, and they want to take books out of our schools and take our history backwards. This is an incredibly diverse district. We must listen to and work with everyone, not expel them or push them away. I feel proud as a Queens resident to know that civil servants like Adriana are speaking her mind in this moment in support of peace, both here and abroad. I urge the CEC and all of us to stand with Adriana and not be afraid of the right-wing activists tonight who only want to divide us instead of bringing us together. Thank you, and free Palestine.
Thank you. Next we have is Irene Ravsky.
Okay, I'm on mute. Okay, good evening, everyone. Today marks a 2-month anniversary since the October 7th terrorist attack perpetrated by a U.S. designated terrorist group Hamas, committing unspeakable sexual atrocities among other unimaginable horrors. I have not heard today an unequivocal and unanimous denunciation of anti-Semitism or saying that racist, divisive remarks have no place here in our district. The phrase "from the river to the sea" has a specific meaning. It calls for the annihilation of the Jewish state, of Israel, and the Jewish people. Congresswoman Tlaib has been censured by US Congress and condemned by the White House for the use of this phrase. So I ask, why is this phrase not good enough for US Congress and our president, but good enough for our CEC? Let me be clear, hate speech is not protected free speech. Speech inciting violence is not protected free speech. Queensborough President Richards did the absolutely right thing by removing Miss Alicia from the CEC. Students who rioted at Hillcrest got their information from social media that often misguides and misinforms them. Miss Alicia's ex-post is exactly the type of stuff that incites them to act the way they did. I ask the CEC tonight on behalf of myself and other fellow Jewish parents who could not attend tonight's meeting because it's the first night of Hanukkah to do the right thing and show that this CEC does not tolerate anti-Semitism by passing a resolution acknowledging and condemning anti-Semitism. A similar resolution has already been passed by CCHS, CEC28, 2, and 3. But it would be especially important in this district in light of what has transpired at Hillcrest High School and the reason for Miss Alicia's removal. Again, will never happen again. Remember that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Elena Amenova. I want to welcome her. She was one of our past members. Elena. Council members, can I ask who's assisting with making?
I'm sorry, I am. Who is the next?
Elena Amenova. Can we please pay attention to this, please?
Are you able to unmute
All right,
it?
now I can. All right, good evening to all of you. Thank you for allowing me to speak and unmuting me. Allow me to express my sentiments, I guess, as dedicated member, elected, and in the past, Queensborough President's appointed member of the CEC28 for the past 4 years prior to this council. I'm here before you tonight, not just as an active participant of this district, but as a member of community that celebrates its diversity and cherishes its traditions. It's disheartening for me to acknowledge that today this meeting is happening on the first night of Hanukkah, and it was not even mentioned by the board that the community does celebrate its diversity and cherishes its traditions. It's disheartening for me because I was part of this great CEC28 at one point, and I feel like this reflects a missed opportunity to embrace the richness of our collective voice and the large population of Jewish families in this district. As past member of this great CEC28 board, I would have wholeheartedly advocated for rescheduling this meeting tonight, acknowledging and respecting the significance of Hanukkah for the Jewish families within our community. I myself should be now celebrating with my kids and family, but I am here because this is important as well. In the continuous spirit of fostering inclusivity, I feel compelled to address concerns that weigh heavily on my heart as well, that this board is entrusted with the responsibility of representing our community, and it is with utmost sincerity that I express my distress over recent social media posts from one of our members here, Adriana. The weight of our words is profound, especially when holding positions of influence and representing the diverse voices of Queens. I implore all of us as public servants to be mindful of the impact our statements can have on our community. It is in discussing matters as sensitive as terrorism, it is important that we exercise prudence and thorough research. We must be vigilant in ensuring that our words, whether intentional or inadvertent, do not perpetuate.
Next is Jean Han. Jean Han. Sorry, sorry, Elena, did you finish? Did you say time, Quentin, or what happened? I'm not sure.
He said it like 3 times.
We have to remember to unmute to say.
Y'all can hear me well?
Now I can hear you, yes.
I'll speak up louder.
Okay, so Elena, can you please finish and then just wrap it up? Can you please unmute Elena, please?
Thank you. I was muted. I stand united with each one of you, and I believe that we share collective commitment to the values that bind our community together. I want to encourage open dialogue, understanding, and shared vision for a future where our diversity is not only acknowledged, but celebrated. Adriana, when you say free Palestine, I agree. Free Palestine from Hamas, the terrorist organization that is taken over. And it's, while it is after Israel, there will be after us here in the United States next. So I want to make sure that you guys do research, Adriana specifically, when you do post something on social media representing.
Okay, did someone unmute her? Did someone mute her again? I'll appreciate if the council members do not mute the members until I ask you to do so, please. Thank you, Elena. Next person we have is Jean Han. Jean Han.
Jean, you are listed twice. I'm trying to figure out which one to unmute. Can you raise your hand for your actual account? Are you able to unmute?
Council members, thank you. I'm speaking here today because I would like to address the abhorrent tweets that were made by the unappointed council member, Adriana Alicia. She was unappointed by Queensborough President Donovan Richards, who did the right thing because she wasn't just tweeting what we would normally call free speech. What she did was tweet things that were inciting hate and violence and tweeting them after the riot that we just saw at Hillcrest High School. We saw over 400 students attacking and going after a Jewish teacher. And she still thinks that it's appropriate for somebody in a parent leadership position to sit there and say a phrase and repeat it over and over again that was condemned as hate rhetoric by our country, not other countries, our country. I find it absolutely vile and inappropriate for a parent elected official, and the borough president did the right thing. You need to resign. You need to step down. And I asked D28 to put forward a resolution addressing the anti-Semitism that we are seeing. Yes, we have Islamophobic incidents, but not at the scale that we are seeing anti-Semitism and that we have seen anti-Asian hate in the past few years. Something needs to be done. This rhetoric needs to be addressed. It does not need to be coming from our parent leaders. It is outrageous that she is still here and she is being recognized as a council member. Thank you and good night.
Next person to speak is John Rosenberg. John. So for all the speakers that's coming up, we're going to be unmuting you, but do not speak until it's your turn. until I call your name. So, Latifa, can you
Thank
please
you.
unmute?
I was just
John,
unmuted.
John,
Yeah. Yep.
John, 1 second, please.
Sure.
Can we please unmute Elena Chin, Tanisha Grant, Lupe Hernandez, Natasha Diaz, and Richard Connolly? Can you please unmute, ask them to unmute? So when we call the name, they'll just go ahead and press the unmute or just start speaking, please. So John, go ahead, please. Thank you.
Thank you. And I posted my remarks in the chat, mindful of the 90-second limit, and I probably won't get through them all, but grateful for the opportunity to present to you tonight. My organization, which is called Hebrew Public, is a nonprofit charter management organization that runs 3 schools in New York City currently, 2 in Brooklyn and 1 in Staten Island. And our schools are committed to racial, economic, and cultural diversity. They serve students from all backgrounds, including large numbers of students with special needs and multi-language learners. We're serving many students who are economic or political refugees, students who are temporarily unhoused, and similar to the diversity of District 28, children in our schools speak dozens of different languages at home. Our proposal is for a small school, 50 children per grade, starting with grades K and 1, and would open in September 2025 if approved by the State University of New York, ultimately expanding to grades K to 8. We are not looking to co-locate. We're mindful of the strains that arise from co-located situations. All of our schools are located in private facilities. Our schools are focused on global citizenship, helping children become agents for peace, aware communicators, people who can work with empathy across lines of difference. And we have a focus on global citizenship that also includes world language, in our case, daily instruction, 1 period a day in modern Hebrew. We have a rigorous academic program that's also grounded in a model called Responsive Classroom, which focuses on creating safe, joyful, and engaging classroom environments. We're really eager to engage with community members from all backgrounds in District 28. And I've posted a link in the chat to our website where you can answer a survey about our work and also contact us with any information needs or if you're interested in meeting. Thank you.
You can just wrap it up. You can take a little time.
No, that's it. It's okay. I'm mindful of the time
Thank you.
limits. I know there's a lot of heat in the room today. I do, but one very quick thing. I know that this is an odd time to be coming with a proposal for a modern Hebrew language program. There's a lot of dissension in the community. The tragedy that's happening now in the Middle East to both groups of people is a horror. I want to be clear that we see our schools as a tool for peace, bringing children together from all backgrounds and helping them to find ways to make a better world together. So thank you.
Thank you, John. Next, we have Elena Chin, followed by Tanisha Grant. Elena?
Hi, good evening. My name is Elena Chin. I'm a former guidance counselor of 23 years, and I am Moms for Liberty. I'm obviously the target of hatred from people who don't even know me, who don't know anything about me. They think they're my moral support.
Well, nice to see you.
And wow, it's a nice warm feeling I get when I walk in this room. It's no wonder that what's going on at Hillcrest High School is going on if this is the adult behavior. But I'm not here for the adults. I'm not here to defend myself. I'm here on the side of the kids, okay? Involving them in political issues is so harmful to them. I listen to them. I know how kids think, feel, and I know how harmful this is to them. Okay, asking them to take a stand on everything holy creates what we're seeing in the adults in this room. Okay, failing to take a stand on anti-Semitism and hurtful speech, no matter who it's against, any kind of hurtful speech is hurting our kids, okay? It's creating unsafe learning environments for them, as we have seen at Hillcrest, when children don't feel safe, they don't learn, okay? Not to mention, kids are mimicking the behavior of the adults, okay, and ruining their opportunities even for jobs. Just today, Dave Portnoy announced that he will not hire any applicants who went to schools like Harvard, MIT, or Penn because they won't denounce this anti-Semitic hate speech. All right, while we're protecting kids around across the ocean, and while we're protecting each other as adults, guess what, folks? Our kids are hurting, okay? We are letting harm come to our own kids. It's time someone stands up for the kids.
To wrap it up, go ahead.
It's horrendous. We are the adults. We are responsible. We are the role models. Okay, I'm not here because I hate anybody. I'm here because I love children. I spent 23 years in the guidance office, listening to their fears. It didn't matter what color they were. It
Thank
didn't
you.
matter what gender they identified as. They're all kids, and we're robbing them of their childhoods.
Thank you.
Okay, we're involving them in things that they do not understand, and we are destroying them.
Thank you so much.
It's just unbelievable.
Tanisha? Tanisha Grant?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Tanisha Grant. I am a former CEC member from District 5. I am the executive director and founder of Parent Support and Parents New York. I am also a Black woman. And a lot of these things that I am hearing are the same type of narratives that are turned against Black people. It is ridiculous that Adriana has been targeted for saying that Palestinians deserve to live. It is unconscionable to me that I am hearing people that are okay with thousands of children dying. Does it not matter because they are Palestinian children? What in what world are we being asked to pit one group of people above another? We all deserve grace. We all deserve to live. I keep hearing this stuff about Hamas, but I have did my research. And from what I have read, Hamas was put into power by Israel. So let's deal with that. It is unconscionable that I am watching, that I am here to watch history and watch the same type of thing that has happened again and again, because some people think they are better than others. It is not appropriate to get your freedom on the backs of someone else. And we respect Jewish people. We respect Palestinians. We respect Black people. We respect people of all creeds. But are you respecting the children? Are you respecting the children that are dying right now?
Wrap it up, Tanisha. Please wrap it up.
Again, we support Adriana. Adriana should not be put off of this council. She did nothing wrong, and the community will continue to stand behind her and free Palestine.
Thank you. Next we have is Lupe Hernandez, followed by Natasha Diaz. So, Latifa, do you mind calling the list going forward? I have to go board now. So if you don't mind calling the list going forward for after Lupe, and you can go ahead with Latifa. Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name is Lupe Hernandez. I actually serve on the Citywide Council for Special Education, but I am here speaking tonight in my own capacity as a New York City parent. I'd like to share the amount of praise that our Citywide Council has given Adriana and how much support we have for her as a representative. She has always looked out for our students with disabilities, our English language learners, our students in temporary housing. She has been a staunch advocate in this space as a parent leader. We cannot lose her. District 28 cannot lose her as an active parent leader that has worked alongside District 28 with their committee regarding equity for all. I think it's really important to understand that what is being portrayed in media by certified hate groups that are here on this call, I think it's really important for folks to understand that language and words matter. And Adriana's words were for humanity and dignity and peace for our children and those in the region of Gaza. I think it's important to understand that she never has said anything hateful and nothing anti-Semitic. I think it's dangerous to put words into people's mouths. And when we continue to misrepresent what folks are advocating for, I think it's time to listen. I would like to say that from the river to the sea, Palestinians will be free is not an act of violence towards any of the Jewish community or those in Israel. It is a call for peace and a call for anti-apartheid and no occupation for the people of Gaza. Palestinians deserve to live, and they deserve to be educated and to be free. We can't have children in hospital, those with disabilities that had no way to escape. We have families currently having nowhere to go. This is unacceptable. We are 100% behind Adriana Alicia. And I hope the borough president's office understands they cannot be placated by very hateful groups like Moms for Liberty to be able to think that she is not a great representative of our students. Thank you very much.
Okay, the next person is Natasha Diaz. Before Ms. Diaz speaks, just as a reminder, the 90-minute time limit is supposed to be observed. We do not want to have to mute people. It was not met with that, but in the interest of time, please do respect it, or we may have to resort to that.
Okay. Good night, everybody. I know it's an intense night, but I'm here to introduce myself. My name is Natasha. I am the new Queens Outreach Coordinator for the Civilian Complaint Review Board. The CCRB is a government agency that investigates, mediates, and prosecutes complaints of police misconduct against members of the NYPD. As an outreach coordinator, I provide presentations, workshops, and outreach events to educate the public on the CCRB, on what we do, on what police misconduct is, how to file a complaint, and what your rights are during a police encounter. If you're interested in getting more information about the CCRB, please reach out to me. I'm going to put my information in the chat. And lastly, we do have a youth advisory council. Our youth advisory council is a council of young New Yorkers that are committed to criminal justice issues and improving police community relations. Our YAC counsels the CCRB, and they find innovative ways to bring young New Yorkers into the narrative about civilian oversight of the NYPD. There's applications open now for young people ages between 10 and 18. That is also, the link for that is also going to be in the chat if anyone is interested. Yeah, that's it for me for tonight. All the best to everybody. Love and peace. Good night.
Thank you. The next speaker is Richard Connolly. Are you still here? Okay. The next speaker following that is Ari Innes.
Hello, good night, everyone. My name is Ari Innes. I'm the Deputy Chief of Staff with the Office of State Senator Leroy Comrie. The Senator sends holiday greetings to everyone, and we hope for a peaceful and enlightened holiday season. Just wanted to mention a few things that the office will be hosting. We have a NILAC services van on December 11th that will be in front of the Rosedale Library from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We are also going to be starting mobile office hours beginning January 10th. The first one will be at Briarwood from 10 to 3 as well. And then the next will be at January 24th at Kew Gardens Hills. We're having a toy giveaway. Sunday, December 17th, will be at Juve Nightclub from 4 to 6 p.m. There will be a reparations discussion with Councilmember Brooks Powers, which we're co-sponsoring with on 12/8, which is tomorrow at York College at 6 p.m. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we have HEAP assistance within the office. You can sit down and speak with a representative. She'll go over your paperwork, make sure you have all your documents, and try to get you some help there. We're also continuing assistance with HeartShare, which assists with Con Ed and National Grid to give you a little bit of money towards your heating and electrical bills. Just wanted to mention one bill that the Senator is working on along with Senator Sanders. Bill S1163A, which is a reparations bill, and also Bill S5591A, which is the Fairness for Accident Victims Act. If you have any questions, please call our office at 718-765-6359. Thank you and happy holidays.
Okay, thank you. The next speaker is Bruce Zeha.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be with you all again, as usual. One thing I want to put some focus on that hasn't been mentioned yet is Mayor Adams' devastating budget cuts that are occurring to our schools. He has already been enacting 5%, or is about to enact a 5% cut to our schools, which was passed by the PEP last week. This 5% is going to affect 3K and pre-K programs. It's going to involve cuts to after school. It's going to involve cuts in computer science for all. It's going to involve cuts to summer rising, as well as cuts to substitute teachers for our students, which we're already having an issue with supplying to our schools. So this is very serious. We can't lose sight of it. This is the initial 5% cut. Those things that I mentioned is just just the effects of the initial 5% cut. He's also planning a second 5% cut to move ahead with in the nearing upcoming months, and a third 5% cut to our schools before June. All this being done while the city is experiencing near record high reserves financially, as well as city revenues coming in higher than expected. And we all know the schools received a huge amount of state aid this past spring. So there's absolutely no reason for these cuts. This is also why it's important to go to the mayoral control hearing that is going to be in Queens at Thomas Edison High School on December 18th, because this is directly linked to mayoral control. He has a majority of the PEP members that vote in a block, and they always vote with what he wants, and they're voting for these devastating cuts right now. So I'm asking everyone not to lose focus of that. Please contact your city council members, because they can work to reverse these cuts. That's very important. So thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you, Bruce. Our next speaker is Ari Feldman.
Good evening, everyone, and happy first night of Hanukkah to everyone. And Bruce, thank you so much for again bringing up the devastating budget cuts. That is really the thing that we should be focused on tonight, and not a lot of distraction. But here we are with organizations tied to terrorist groups that are in our chat and now in our conversation. So I needed to speak up because I'm a proud Jew. I consider myself a Zionist. I believe in the right of Israel to exist. However, I also believe in the right of our representatives to promote their issues that they think are important. Adriana Alicia is one of the most powerful organizers that we have in our parent leadership. As a pre-K parent, she was the PTA president in her own school and then elected the president of the President's Council. This is not somebody who is just like some fly-by-night person who is not involved in things. This is a woman who has organized so many people around the city, in her school, in our district. She is a power player because of what she brings to parent leadership. This is a distraction, right? Her tweets are not relevant to the work that is happening, that she is doing. So we have all these people who are showing up because they are in organizations, literally Moms for Liberty, if you're not aware, it has deep connections to the Proud Boys. The people that we heard speaking tonight have gone to fundraisers for MAGA Republicans. We're not talking about centrists coming to talk to us about how extreme Adriana is. We have extreme right-wing, like people who want us to have banned books in our schools, people who think that it's damaging to kids to let them use pronouns that they want to use. We have these kinds of people coming to speak. Those people have spoken tonight, right? And they are using this issue of Israel versus Palestine as a wedge. It is not relevant to the work that is happening in our schools, and they are using that to try to see how many right-wing Republicans they can get to be their pawns in this game. And that is upsetting to me, because that is not what this is about. CEC is not about somebody's speech on social media, right? That is an excuse. Have a wonderful Hanukkah, and I hope that the light of justice is brought to us, and I hope that the BP's office hears all of the support for this amazing parent leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Ari. The next person, sorry, is Paulette Healy. You should already be able to unmute. Paulette, are you able to unmute? You should have received the ask to unmute. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, 4 times the charm. I just want to start off by giving a huge shout out to Quentin, because you, my friend, are the reason why advocates like myself marched up to Albany for the past 10 years to make sure D75 was on the local councils. And for all of the members who are in attendance, whether you're a community member or sitting on the CEC right now, who's just like, yeah, you know what, D75 doesn't really matter to me. Just so you know, we have recognized 917 District 75 students that live in District 28. And only 524 of them remain in District 28 in the few 7 sites that are available in this district. Everyone else, the additional 400, have to go outside of this district. That is why Quentin is so important. That is why we need the partnership of the other CEC members to visit these schools, to understand that co-location is not equal and fair, and it should not be a renter and landlord situation in our co-located schools. Our D75 children should not have to ask permission to use the playground. They are children that are living right next door to us. So thank you, Quentin, for doing the work. And I'm sorry about FACE dragging their feet about this whole thing. Hopefully by January, we can get up and running. Anyways, on the heels of the budget cuts, D75 schools will experience a $97 million cut across all 300 of our schools citywide. And what does that mean? What that means to our schools is that they're losing their entire para budget. So children who need a bus para, children who need a medical para, children who need a para to stay with them because the bus hasn't shown up in 3 hours, they won't get to school. Think about the thousands of children that will be stranded if these cuts go through. And to remind you, District 75 is also the only district that never lost enrollment. We actually gained 5,000 students this year. So think about how unjust that is to penalize an entire population of students with disabilities with these audacious cuts. That's how it's affected. That's our lived experience. Lastly, I do want to say, regardless of where you stand on this particular argument, Adriana has been targeted twice now for her right to freedom of speech. And as much as I abhor a lot of these keyboard jockeys and internet trolls that have said egregious and disgusting things about myself and my son, words I would never repeat because they're disgusting and they're antiquated, they still have the right to say it under our Constitution, as does Adriana. And this is the second woman of color who has been targeted for her freedom of speech in the past 3 weeks. And I just remind you, if they come for Taj and they come for Adriana, what makes you think they're not going to come for you next? That's it. Thank you.
I am muted. Sorry. Thank you. And the next person is Vanessa Sparks.
Good evening, CEC28. Vanessa Sparks bringing greetings from Community Board 12 Education Committee under the leadership of Latoya LeGrand and under the chairmanship of the Reverend Carlene Thorpe. I don't know. I have two questions. I don't know if they're still in the room, the representatives from the School Construction Authority, but I would like to hear from the School Construction Authority about the building that is being put on Hillside Avenue and 165th Street, and also about the proposed building, high school building that will be put at the corner of Parsons Boulevard and Jamaica Avenue, where the movie theater is currently located. We have many people that attend the community board meetings and the education committee that have been asking about those two schools or proposed schools, and we have got little to no information from either the School Construction Authority or the Borough President's office. My second question is for the superintendent. I want to know if any schools in District 28, specifically in the southern end of District 28, which community board encompasses, have had to return any funding because of loss of enrollment. Thank you and happy holidays, no matter what holiday you celebrate. Happy Hanukkah to those that celebrate Hanukkah. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Three Kings Day. Whatever holiday you celebrate at this time of the year, let's do it with love and with peace.
Thank you, Ms. Sparks. Happy holidays to you as well. The next speaker is Maury Actor.
Hello and good evening. I hope everyone can hear me well. I am the Vice President of PS 175 Queens, and I've had the pleasure of working with CEC member Adriana for the last 2 school years. And as a member of PS 175's board and someone who has worked alongside her for the last 2 years, I can say firsthand how much she has advocated for not only our students in our school, but the students in our district. She has worked tirelessly, and she has made great strides not only in our own school, but in our community, from everything from creating fundraisers and everything from creating fundraisers and creating our after school programs. She has been a voice for our community, for every single student in our community. We live in Rio Park, and this is a heavily diverse community, and she advocates for each and every single student in our school. She has been a powerhouse in making sure that our school has what we need. She has been a powerhouse in everything that our school district has needed. She is a voice for us, and she has never once been biased in her thoughts, and she has never once been anti-Semitic in her rhetoric. Nothing. I have never seen a single anti-Semitic statement out of her mouth. I hope everyone here has a wonderful and happy holidays. I wish everyone love and peace. Thank you so much for your time.
Our next speaker is Lemore Nesher. Lemore, it doesn't look like your audio is enabled. I'm going to move to the next person and come back. Okay, there it is. It looks like it's there. Are you able to unmute? Okay, it still does not seem to be working. I'm going to move to the next person and come back if you are able to unmute them. Sasha Cruz.
All right,
היה
good
לי
evening,
פתאום
everyone.
הודעה voicemail מתומאס ג'ונס, זה היה 4 שנים אחרי. I'm sorry. מה זה היה? משהו מוזר, לא הבנתי מאיפה זה בא. You deserve a refund. I'm sorry, you deserve a refund from Thomas Jones. יואו, כן. אף אחד לא שומע. You deserve a refund from Thomas Jones. זה ממש...
Hi, sorry. Good evening, everyone. I'm here.
Go ahead.
Sorry, good evening, everyone. I'm here today to speak about acting on a vote of no confidence against our assistant principal, Mrs. Hookham, and our principal, Mr. Rolone. Speaking on from PS 139, talking on behalf of concerned parents, teachers, and staff to express our grave concerns and issue this vote of no confidence. Our school has been recognized for a school of excellence in providing challenging academics and thriving arts program, and it was a sought out after choice in many with a convenient location. However, in recent times, we have witnessed a concerning deterioration of our school's environment and leadership. Positive engagement in parents should be top priority for the administration, yet we have witnessed gross mismanagement, extensive safety concerns, and lack of effective communication, capricious and arbitrary decision-making, and furthermore, there have been allegations of interference with union activities, which is highly unsettling. The school's encouraging of opting out of state testings and relating concerns regarding potential repercussions for staff have created an atmosphere of mistrust. The school's reputation has been damaged, primarily due to leadership issues. Parents have been shunned out, and this should be unacceptable. Research has shown that when parents are more active with the school and their children, the school is more successful. So we here are asking today for a change to happen to benefit both our students and restore the reputation of our beloved school. So we're asking today and hope that we get the support that we need in getting our school back to where it needs to be. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll make one more attempt for Limor. Limor Nesher. Please unmute or you will be removed from the list and we'll move on. Okay, we're gonna move on. The next.
Excuse me. Hi. Hello. Hi, this is Limor.
Please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I regret to say that this is the first candle of Hanukkah, and maybe many parents weren't able to join. I'm happy that I was able to. First and foremost, I don't understand the debate about Zionism. Zionism was the will to have the state for a Jewish state. I mean, a Jewish state for the Jewish people, and it exists. So everyone that is contemplating about the concept of Zionism, when there is a state of Israel, and Israel is here, it's not going to go away. My real question for this panel tonight, and the reason I wanted to speak on Hanukkah night, first and foremost, to really ask you guys, there is a member on board that was disqualified by the DOE. I don't know why she's sitting there, and she was asked to resign. She's not representing me. She's not representing my community or my children. So let's say this loud and clear. Miss Adriana is not representing me or my children or my community. Now, whatever you think, Miss Adriana, we don't care, because what you do is spreading hate and spew discomfort in our district that has been doing great before you and will be doing great after you. Now, the next thing I want to ask is the CEC panel. You knew that this person is controversial. You knew that the Jewish community has a discomfort with that person sitting on board. And why didn't you walk out? Why didn't you walk out tonight? Really, this is my concern. My students, my kids, we've been living in District 28 20 years. We've been witnessing a lot of things that are happening, and we love our district. We love the diversity of our district. And my concern in Queens today is that my son in 8th grade had to register to the high school application. And because of the lack of action from the DOE and from panels like you guys, we had to remove 2 schools that he wanted to go to from his high school application because they are anti-Semitic or are not doing anything to reassure Jewish parents like myself that it will be safe for my kid to attend these schools. And my question for you, is this equal opportunity? Because I, as a Jewish parent, I had to remove 2 high schools from my list, and a Muslim parent and a Christian or Hindu parent did not have to do that. Just me and other Jewish parents had to do that. So my concern, knowing this panel and knowing the people involved and knowing the people of the district, what's happening to us as a community? Starting with disrespect by appointing disqualified people. I'm sorry, what are you saying when I'm speaking? I don't hear you.
You're twice over your time.
I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Have a nice evening. This is all I had to say. I'm very disappointed, and I hope that you're not going to continue to push Jews out of your panels.
The next speaker is Heather Beers Dimitria.
Hi, good evening. Heather Beers Dimitriadis with Community Board 6 and the chair of Community Board 6 that represents Rego Park Forest Hills. First, I want to thank the CEC panelists tonight. The work you guys do is tremendous. It calls on a lot of your time and a lot of your efforts. So we truly appreciate it. We appreciate the time you spend in our schools, building relationships with administrators. So I just wanted to take a moment tonight and say that we are deeply appreciative for the time that you sow into our public schools. I'm here tonight because I wanted to see the SCA report, because I always look forward to the section of the Capitol report that talks about capacity. Because the last time that I got capacity numbers, we had in Community District 6, we had over 11 schools over capacity. And when I think about that, combined with the fact that we're supposed to be on the eve of implementing class size mandate, I'm genuinely concerned, and it would be helpful to know sort of where these schools are in District 28 as far as capacity, specifically speaking to schools that are now taking in asylum seeker students. For example, at Forest Hills High School, which the last numbers I had them at 184% capacity. So if SCA is still on, I know that their presentation got short. Maybe the information I'm looking for is in there. It would be tremendously helpful if we could get those capacity numbers for each school. I know we had one school in District 6 that was under capacity, which is always good news when we're trying to talk about class size mandate. So that's just my general concern. Also know that Community Board 6 is heavily advocating to try to keep the 3K program to ensure that it continues to grow. And one of the observations that we have about 3K, because the argument keeps getting put out there that people aren't utilizing the program enough. And part of the reason people aren't utilizing the program enough is because families need childcare, and families can't wait around for the government to figure out if we are or if we are not going to have a 3K program. So they're going to do whatever it takes, come out of pocket, spend money they don't have, and they're going to go to outside programs. So if we could get assurances that we can keep the program and the program isn't going anywhere, our families would use it more. And that helps women. And that helps women in our communities, and it helps our economy. So just wanted to say thank you again tonight. Appreciate all you guys are doing. And just know that Community Board 6 is here. You need us to advocate for you. Knock on our door because we will answer it. Have a great night. Have a wonderful holiday season. May we all find some moment in the next 30 days to find peace and see hope somewhere in the people that we encounter. Good night.
Thank you. The next member is Leonie Heimson. We are getting to the bottom of our list, but please do try to adhere to time. We are physically here and we will be ejected from the building at a certain time. The next member, Leonie Heimson, let me make sure you're able to unmute. Are you able to? Oh.
Yes, now I can unmute. Thank you very much. I'm going to segue off of Heather's remarks. I'm speaking about the capital plan and also your class sizes. Unfortunately, we got the class size data for this year. District 28 has the largest class sizes in the city of any district in K through 3 and the third largest in 4th through 8th grade. You also have tremendous numbers of overcrowded schools, and yet the new 5-year capital plan has not a single school funded for District 28. The DOE has already said that there are 7 districts in the city that do not have the room to even reduce class sizes in kindergarten. And so it is imperative that you get new schools in the capital plan. Not only is there not a single school for District 28, they cut the funding by $2 billion for new capacity compared to the existing plan. And they've said that 77% of the seats will go unspecified forever. And they will not even tell parents, members of the public, other elected officials, where these schools are going to be sited or their grade levels until they've already acquired the site and the design process has begun. This completely leaves parents in the dark as to giving input about where schools are needed or where they should be built. It also, in our analysis, violates 2 laws, including the new class size law that was passed in 2022, where you're supposed to be reducing, the DOE is supposed to be reducing class sizes starting this year, except that citywide and in your district, class sizes have gone up. So I have loads of data that I'm happy to provide your CEC. I'll put my email address in the chat. We also have a resolution for CECs talking about the issue of class size and demanding that the DOE actually comply with the new law and put into place steps to be able to reduce class sizes, including in overcrowded districts like District 28. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The next speaker is Ted Chang.
Hi, everybody. Since this is an education meeting, I just wanted to add an educational point to the discussion. River to the Sea has been used by the right-wing Likud party as a phrase to oppose the rights of Palestinians. And this was recently pointed out by Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Jerry Nadler, who are both very well-respected national Jewish leaders. So I think that should bear on the discussion. In any case, these are very troubling times and people are already very upset. I don't feel like this is the time to fearmonger and exaggerate to score political points and stoke division. I really didn't see any incitement of hate or violence in those tweets, but I do want to acknowledge the fears and strong emotions of any Jewish or Muslim listeners on this call, because that's the decent human thing to do. And I do agree with Elena Amanova, who I know and hold in high esteem, that we must all take a stand against anti-Semitism, especially on Hanukkah. And we should also oppose Islamophobia, including rhetoric against Palestinians and against advocacy for the Palestinians. But when kids are involved, I think we need to realize that this should be an educational process for them, and they should not be pawns in where we're trying to score points against each other. These kids at Hillcrest need to learn things. They're full of hormones. This is probably their first protest in their lives, and they made mistakes, and they definitely have some learning to do, but let's nurture them as adults in this space. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. The next person is Taj Sutton.
Hello, can everyone hear me? Can folks hear me? Okay, I just want to start my comments by sharing the working definition of anti-Semitism from the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. And it states that anti-Semitism is a certain perception of Jews, which may be expressed as hatred toward Jews. Rhetorical and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism are directed toward Jewish or non-Jewish individuals and or their property, toward Jewish community institutions and religious facilities. Manifestations might include the targeting of the state of Israel conceived as a Jewish collectivity. However, criticism of Israel similar to that leveled against any other country cannot be regarded as anti-Semitic. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. However, criticism of Israel similar to that leveled against any other country cannot be regarded as anti-Semitic. At the top of the meeting, I heard a lot of comments about how we need to come together and be kind and fair, and I agree with that. But if we are dealing with record historic levels of hatred, both against Jewish families, students, and teachers, and Palestinian parents, students, and teachers, we have to go beyond fairness and kindness and name the hatred so that we can fight. And we also have to not fight for one community while completely silencing and even going as far as to violently attack another community or attack the individuals who stand with that community. We cannot purport to be a city of diversity that values diversity and sees strength in it when people cannot even say that Palestinians deserve to be free and that the children of Gaza deserve to live the same as the children in Israel without being attacked. I have seen and experienced doxing, harassment, and violence from individuals on this call who came to my meeting in my district, but are now asking why other people are here. And the sad truth is that Moms for Liberty and Place Parents have put us in a position where we have to work together and defend ourselves, and parents like Adriana, so that they can continue to do the incredible work that they do for New York City public school students, all New York City public school students, despite individuals like the Place members and Moms for Liberty that we see being disingenuous and extremely violent in the chat tonight. The last thing I'll say that is my expectation as a New York City public schools parent, irrespective of my role on the CEC, is that that violence, those threats, and that name calling that is only going in one direction tonight will be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Tash. And the next speaker should already be unmuted. It's Madeline Borelli.
Hi, good evening. I'm coming to you as an NYC public school parent and an educator, and I'm standing in solidarity with Adriana, and I believe that her removal from this council is misguided and extremely harmful for the community she serves. I also want to remind folks, as we sit here in our relative safety and relative privilege, that the school year in Gaza has been canceled because students are being massacred. Israel is conducting genocide and ethnic cleansing of Palestinian people. And I, for one, am happy that Adriana chose to use her voice and her platform to uplift the Palestinian struggle. And it would be an absolute shame to remove Adriana, considering the wonderful work that she's doing in her community and her district. And I want to uplift the voices tonight of those who know her personally and are familiar with the great work that she's doing. I also want to say that Judaism is holy and flourishes beyond the genocidal confines of Zionism and the state of Israel. And from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That was the, if you can mute that, can you mute the, this one again? So that was the final public, speaker. VJ, is VJ? I think he already boarded.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Unmute for VJ is unmuted.
So I'm still here. Thank you, Natifa. So that brings us to the end of our public comment section. At this point in time, the time now is Daniel Chef still on? Daniel, are you still there?
He seems to be connected, but without audio.
Because I know Vanessa Sparks had a direct question for her about that. Vanessa, what we'll do is we'll try to get some information about what you asked. We'll try to have Danielle connect with you. If you mind sending me an email, a direct email to myself, and I can go ahead and forward that email to Danielle so she can answer your question. Vanessa, I'll appreciate that. So we can get your answer. I think there was one more person who had a question directly. PS139. I think it was Sasha who had a question directly. Dr. Hall. I know they were talking about a vote of confidence vote from the PTA on in reference to the principal and the AP. So we can connect offline and discuss this topic. And Lu Zhao is the CC liaison to that school. So just want to let you all know we are here, we are hearing, and we want you to continue to come and bring your concerns. This is exactly what we are here for. I want to thank everyone for bringing your concerns and having your platform to speak tonight. Again, we are here to provide a platform and a space for the community, and we thank you all for being here. So at this point in time, we're gonna end the calendar meeting. The time now is 8:57 p.m. and this calendar meeting for December 2023. Wait, before I go ahead, happy Hanukkah to everyone who celebrates, and happy holidays to all who celebrate as well. And enjoy. The time now is what time is it now? 8:57 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned. This calendar meeting. Lu Zhao, can you please take over the business meeting portion of the meeting? I think you want to start at 9:05, Lu. Is that okay? 9:05. 9:05 p.m. we'll start the business meeting. At which time you all will take over at this point. So thank you all for being here. Can we please remove the chat feature now, Dorinda or to Natifa? Can we please stop the chat feature? And to the community who is still on board, you are more than welcome to stay back for the business meeting. But just know that you're not allowed to speak during the business meeting. You can listen in as a council. Go ahead and deliberate. Thank you all.
Thank
you.
So, yeah, pizza time, folks. Right? Okay, so let's call the meeting. The business meeting start right now. Natifa, can you do the roll call?
Okay, President Ramjatan. I think he dropped off. First Vice President, excuse me, Lu Zhao.
Here.
Second Vice President Maroon Swapna.
Present.
Treasurer Utah Chair. Recording Secretary Natifa Lewis. I'm here. Member Julissa.
Here.
Member Tanya Went.
Here.
Member. They can't hear right now. We're not on mute. We can hear. They should be able to hear now. No. Member GK Kaliyanaram.
Yeah.
Member Simone Donbar.
Here.
Member Adriana Alicia.
Yes.
Member Jalen.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, right? So the first thing is the liaison list, right? So how many school we have, right now, not taken? Q80, is that
So I think that the schools that were remaining after we had our conversations initially were assigned like temporarily to Jay and Simone. We can re-examine the list. I can do it now while we're talking to make sure, but I do remember that we had assigned them just in case it took longer than expected to get another member on the council.
Right.
We didn't want to risk them losing time.
So right now, JK doesn't have, you don't have any, so you already have 3, so only Tanya don't have any, right?
Yeah, because I'm new.
Okay, so who has basically who has 4? We can you can 4. So all the 4 you can see which one you wanna share.
This is on the website. I don't know.
Oh wow, TPF 5.
But Nativa, do you want to, give one? Too greedy. So do you? But by the way, do you need more time? We can do that, offline. Then okay.
I do want one.
Sure.
I want to
start it out, right? Yeah, sure.
Behind, so I feel bad.
Dorinda, just send it now. Do you want PS 220 or MS 217? 220 is the one they were
220 is
asking
close.
for today.
220 is
close to it.
close, yeah.
It's just
Today there was a parent asking today.
Oh, there's nobody's assigned to 220?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Saying
sorry,
you want to take
yes,
one
sure.
off of mine.
Sure, 220 is close, but Natifa, can I take one from you because you have 5, or do you really you want them? If you want them, you keep them. But
yeah, that's a lot for a bunch. That's what I wasn't sure.
You had a 167, MS 167, MS 8, Q48, Q40, Q3 12. Do any of those? Not that you don't want any of them, but are any of those you haven't visited yet? You haven't.
So I have had the conversations, but I haven't visited 167, which is Mel's.
Oh,
you have a child at Mel's?
I do not. I have a person that my daughter's father works at Mel's. Is that okay or not?
The person that's what?
That my daughter's father works at Mel's.
What Mel's?
He works at Mel's, so I don't know if that's great. In the middle school, not the high school. We don't.
I mean, if there's doubt, then we move to another one.
I mean,
there's no reason to create any.
I don't mind going, of course, but
I think no reason to create any confusion.
Okay.
If you want them, you can have them. I don't want to take anything you want. I don't want you to have to give up.
I mean, we can. So as we said, we can also share. So if you want to be on some of the schools, I mean, I have started like relationships with some of them. So 312 and Q40 both share building on the Q40 campus on the Union Hall off of 110th and 109th Avenue. PS48 is its own building. So those 4 schools are actually close by. 312, 40, 48, and MS8. MS8 is on the same with YECA and so forth. So as I say, I don't mind remaining on with those that I've already started relationships, but you know, if you wanna
it sounds like you want connect still.
Yeah, let's do this. You already have one, right?
If somebody wants to take Mel's and I take one of theirs or something, like if that would that work too? Or I don't want to cause any waves. I just want some schools. So.
Right.
Is there anybody else? Who else? Simone has 4 and Lou has 4.
Yeah.
And Tal has so Julie just gave me one. Okay. Because everybody should have like 3 or 4.
3 or 4, yeah.
3 or 4.
You can take my middle school if you want. I haven't honestly, I haven't done anything for that middle school, to be honest.
287. Which one is that?
That's it's also a co-location school. I kind of forgot. That's what I'm saying. I didn't do anything for the middle school. Yeah.
It's on the campus with Yoka early.
Yeah. Early.
It's in the same one with YECA and ISA.
Not yet. She's holding on strong yet, I think.
So let's give Tanya two schools to start with right now. Then we can.
Which one? It's 332? Where's that? Yeah.
That's also co-located. I have both in the same building. Hold on, is it understood?
Someone's waiting in the waiting room. Lamar Hughes.
Oh, he's from
Coming- oh, let me see.
D25. He's UFT from D25.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I just got, they can all hear us. Okay, good.
I think for convenience purposes, if you have co-location, you should keep to yourself. It's easier, you know, you're in the same location, right? So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, just one thing to be mindful of, Quentin had to be on the road, so
Yes.
we actually do need to unmute, probably need to unmute that.
Is he already on or?
Yes.
Figure it out,
Julie,
yeah.
can you,
Oh, so
can
he
you
can
on?
speak.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on. I'm on.
Go, but that's fine.
But Quentin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear
right
you.
where you were.
I can hear you. You guys are loud and clear.
No, not don't unmute that part.
I forgot how,
Okay, I guess, yeah, you could just leave that one unmuted, I guess. But the speaker part on the same.
It is.
Yeah.
The toolbar. Oh, I thought it was.
No, it's not. Quentin, were you saying something?
No. Oh, I can hear you guys loud and clear. You guys are all good.
Okay, good. So let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time on one item. So Tanya have two schools right now.
Is there somebody else who has a volume that is not muted?
No, I think that's it.
That's
You just
it.
told me to do it.
Yeah. Is there anybody else who has like their microphones unmuted?
I don't think that's the reason.
Yeah, no, you have it. You, Lou.
Right here.
Your microphone. That's
My
what.
microphone is, yeah, my phone is not muted.
So now, I just, but I'm saying now speak. All right, Quentin, you can hear us, right? Quentin?
Yes. Yes. I can hear you.
That's what I'm saying. Just when two microphones are up, because we're not gonna hear him.
Quentin, you want to say something again?
No, I was just responding. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. You can put it up. No, it's not gonna reverb. But that's what you can hear. Yeah, so it's just that his microphone. This is the only microphone that we're using. So as you guys speak, please speak up. Practice your outside voice inside. Okay.
So for the this Tanya will have two schools. One is
Q 220, that's confirmed, and then MS 287. You can have one of mine. And he said, and MS 332. Yeah, and we're gonna work together, because they are whole. It's okay, that is middle. Okay. And I have come basic, so we're gonna be working together. Okay.
okay. So two schools, right?
Three.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
220, MS 287, and MS 332, alongside Simone will work together.
Sure.
Okay.
So three schools. Then you're pretty much done.
Yes.
Okay. So move on to the next item. Absentee forms 2. One is for Nativa for the last meeting remote attend. I'll just I think everybody knows what happened, and I move the motion to approve. Anyone second?
Second.
And okay, so motion approved. Another one is wages today remote attending because of business trip. I move the motion to approve. Who is second?
Second.
Okay, so nobody against, then we approve both absentee. And move on to the next item, budget, right? So without you have anything, I mean we definitely need to move some item from the monthly allowance. I do have the what?
I haven't submitted reimbursement, I'm sorry.
Yes,
First, I didn't know how to, and now.
oh, there are
As soon as she showed me how,
they are in actually they actually sent out the template before. But yeah, I haven't done my reimbursement, and no one I haven't received any either. Can you share or you can? I think I can share. Yeah, sure. So,
what's the charger for this? I need.
So this is a modification based on the current allocation, and there are few things that are not yet reflected in this modification chart. Is we have holiday party and breakfast, annual breakfast that we are planning to spend $100 on the event, and so we do have some leeway in what we schedule, and we need to we'd like to propose budget modification to add that, and also we have the graduation certificates event that normally we spend 1,500 around that number, and we also like to make motion to approve that adjustment. Once that's approved, I can make the update in our budget proposal, and we probably need to shift some numbers around to make that thing happen. Yeah. Okay. So we can. So we need to make a motion first. So we have to move. I mean, first of all, we can remove all the money from Muhammad after the fourth meeting. So yeah, he attended 2 meetings. Okay. So this is already spent, right? The copier is already spent. That's the ended.
And also, but Tanya started from this month, right?
So we still have the remaining budget without including the pending reimbursement, which probably currently allocated about 13,000. Yes. The allocation this is everybody has a quota, like max to submit. I haven't adjusted for the president. He had higher quota, so I haven't adjusted yet. This is reflected in the total allocation. And for normally I think what traditionally what we just consider the monthly meeting, either child care or other expenses to be included in cabinet.
have a expenses, you can submit me to CEC28 and so that we can process reimbursement. So that's really already shared the template with everybody.
So now, other than the president, is everyone else same? Like I see Simon and Adriana different.
Yeah, because
from the rest of the members.
Yeah, because they didn't attend the first. They were not appointed back then, and obviously this meeting she never attended it, so I adjusted the allocation there. And Mohammed, I don't know what the situation.
He came for the
The first one is online. The second one is in person.
Right. Yeah. So I think he was entitled for the in-person, but I'm not sure if.
one thing, my name is still.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And I don't need anything for November. It should be zero for me. I was not actually a member just yet, right? I was in the meeting to, yeah.
I think I did some copy.
Yeah. And then just make sure that when your allocation column is adding, make sure you're adding GK and I. We're not there. We don't have any money yet, but we will. Maybe, I don't know. That should be added.
So I'm eligible for 125 for December, November, and October. Is that right? Yes, right.
From your official report.
Yeah, first appointment. So I have to file something with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You're the I need some money. I'm requesting that.
Yeah, and then if we don't use it, then it goes back up into the grander bucket and we use. Got it.
We're gonna do it. Yeah. If you don't want your money, you donate to these banks.
Understood. Got it.
So Miranda, can you at least the item we can get child care is something without.
Internet is $75.
But
That's only if we are
remote.
If we are remote. Oh, you can.
Right. Yeah. Internet is no longer.
So maybe
besides childcare.
Yeah, transportation.
Because
And your school visits and if you.
the childcare, you don't need to submit like a signed set of receipts, but for the others you have to submit. So like for example, if you had to attend some kind of event or whatever it is, anything that may be a justifiable expense on behalf of them, but you are required to submit receipts.
And when do you need to know by? Like I'm giving that up. I don't want it monthly. We're supposed to tell you either submit something to you or say you forfeit. Sorry.
I think
Okay.
I emailed it.
I don't even know.
But I'm saying like right now because for like this is where right. No, but I'm saying right now I think people's times change.
Yeah.
So I think whatever they're entitled to here, unless you
email.
send that changes, I deal with the other stuff with that. So it's gonna be
You don't need to see.
Yeah, but I'm saying
You don't have to.
that's part of.
Me, VJ, and the second email to the copy. Yeah, the copy serve us with there's a standard form you just fill out. According to the website, it's on our shared drive, I think.
I also sent it by email.
It's like a very ugly Word form. Unfortunately, you have to do every month. You have to do one form. You cannot do the same form for all the month. So unfortunately, that's the way it is, and then you're just sending either the Word copy or a PDF format. And I'm gonna sign it, and the pages can sign it.
What were you trying to say?
No, I'm saying that, okay, technically for the, you're supposed to send it in as early as possible, yes. But the fact is, you know, circumstances can change, and you may have said, you know what, I wasn't gonna claim, and I'm gonna claim. And I'm saying, that is one big chunk of money, yes. Right now, it's actually down to only a maximum of about, what, we've only allocated about 30,000, I think that would go up maybe another 2,000.
No, I think
Right.
this is probably.
It's not right, but I'm saying we've already kind of got back some money from that. So I think we should look sometimes at some of the other areas, except for the months the people who were either not here or not appointed. I think we should leave member reimbursements alone and look at you know, where in some of the other things. I mean, look, we had a big amount with what was it, like freshmen and stuff like. What is the main bills that we need to account for right now?
So I think we in the beginning of the year we allocated close to 19,000 for the member reimbursement, but due to all the personnel changes and vacancies, we actually have only need to spend allocate 13,000.
It's going to be a little you haven't accounted for Japan taxes.
Right. Oh yeah, that's sure. Yeah, right.
So if you can add that in, the GK starts from October, so that's coming in 1, 2, 3, 9 months. Okay, so if you add 9 months at 125, that's right.
So
and then for Tanya, it's going to be what, 900 here.
Oh, that's annual.
Yeah. Right. So I'm saying that's an amount that if we need to revisit later in the year, people are not, but I don't think members should like precedent of what you take it or not take it right now, since that isn't something that they're entitled to. And we need to look at some of the other more fluid funds that we have. Yes, we plan the breakfast, yes, whatever it is, but we should plan it around the budget that we have related to that rather than taking from something that someone may need, especially since we don't have as much convenience of being home as we did last 2 years.
So this will modify the member reimbursement, and also I think there's some calculation of what I got to.
Cell G7 has to match the cell B29, right? Your amount, unless you don't want to mess with it, but like the scheduled amount for member reimbursement should be the 18.9 if we're updating it right now. I don't know if we're supposed to be updating it now. If we are, then you have to say cell G7 equals B29. You know what I mean?
So
make it automatically.
I7.
You know what I mean?
Right now is I7 because we're going to multiply. Multiple amount should be
Sorry,
176.
sure, yes.
17625.
Yes.
And also the total amount have to add up to 25,000. And whatever need to go there, go to the refreshment. Something done that.
Right. Probably
Well, Utah is working on this. One thing I have to bring up to the attention. There's something I have to bring attention to the council. So last year we had our first vice president, Barbara Williams. She filed for reimbursement and somehow I think that got lost, right? she never received the cash, the check or something like that. Right? So you know, for her to get the money, and I think what happened is the DOE have to cancel the check and reissue the check, and that money, because now you know the new check has to come from the budget, so it has to come from our budget, which is 200, 4 months, 200, no, 300, 300, 75 per month. It used to be because we were online. Online, there's $75 for the internet, which is really easy. Now it's not very easy. Yeah, so that was $300. 300.
So it looks like we need the only place we can adjust is here, the member over the.
So that's one of my concerns. Okay,
I took it out because it was like 475. It was like I mean on the.
He added a line for the.
Yeah, I added it.
You add a new line.
Yeah, it was there. It was there. The remaining of the balance or whatever. Yeah. Is it still there? I mean, I think it was.
So yeah, you can just see 25,000 minus.
Right. So last time was we had quite 94 because of everything else got it up. Now we have deficit. Do we actually keep track of spending or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So we do have the allocation here, and looks like this is the only place we can.
Where it's the only place we can go. We cannot take from current number of universities.
I understand, right? So right now we do have like 28.
So the only other place is like within like breakfast or something like that. But I'm saying this is one of the things that we keep.
Okay, so so for the graduate
legislative frameworks that we have, that we invite. And it's been really well.
So I'm confused. So we want to so we need to adjust. We cannot balance the budget. So
So I'm saying right now the only things that we have kind of discretionary funds are between refreshments and the annual revenues. So this is something that we basically need to hold on because this was something, and I honestly do find it unfair that if it's something that was issued before, that they're not able to. I understand that budget has changed, but the city is famous for having retroactive things. They should be able to build that to fiscal year 23 as opposed to 24. I'm saying because it's not like the check was never issued. Oh, right. Yes. So I'm saying in a case like that, because okay, then there's right. But I'm saying, but then it becomes an issue for us because we cannot take from current year membership to do for that. Right. So I'm saying based on what we have right now, why are we changing 2400? Because the president has a
ones she already not.
She wasn't here. She was.
Right, alright, so, and so I'm asking why
Yeah,
the
so that's, yeah, that one should be certified, yeah. That one-
So it's not 17,000, I just wanna establish.
Right, yeah.
I think
And
we're
the same
spending
thing
all this
for-
time, we gotta get the right numbers.
Right, and
Same thing
BJ's
for-
one is, so BJ's numbers is 200 per month, not 125. So.
Yeah,
My number should be
allocation.
875. There's
Yeah.
too many discrepancies here that I think we're discussing the wrong number, and that's all I'm saying.
So that allocation for BJ is actually going to be 200.
Thank you, Jim. Let's give her a number and then see
All
what the
right.
gap is.
Thanks for the.
Is there anybody else who has this?
My number should be eight
No, I mean,
seventy-five, when everybody
we,
else.
we can do some, but,
Time is 875. So 7 times. 7 times 125. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Why don't you, everyone check their number?
Yeah, everybody check. Yeah. Your monthly amount times the number of months.
But how many is your
Correct, so I have December, January, February, March, April, June, right, so I have 7.
Oh, so it's gonna be,
Right, so count from the year, how many, yeah, and most people will have the 15, right, most people will assume all of
okay,
it.
I think everyone else is correct.
Okay. So I think what we need to do is if the max of the budget is 25 grand, we have to work backwards. If it's 25 grand and this allocation is 17,
That now correct,
Two.
adding.
Last year, the graduation certificates cost 1,500, but remember we had some. Okay, so that, look, we have 1,500 budget. Okay. Okay, so I'm saying, what I'm saying is those are the places that we should be grabbing for that money right now. So right now you have 1,500, so if we have an outstanding $300, that's a good thing to take it from.
But you guys over the budget, well, where does it come there? You, and, you know, because the graduation is kind of after. No, I'm saying if we allocate not enough money, so.
you gotta add. Yes, you have to have it.
It's a nominal certificate. If we do it
Where are
early,
we
it's
falling?
only cost.
What is we want money for?
No, we have to. We cannot spend any money without it being allocated to the right line item. Otherwise, we have to call a special meeting and try to, because we have a fixed budget. So everything has to go within that 2,500. Moving money into areas that need it. Based on the last couple of years.
What is it that needs breakfast?
So the breakfast has cost a good bit in the last couple of years because we've ordered itineraries, so we're taking it into account people's preferences or what. Right now, I think one of the things we're trying to account for that wasn't budgeted before is that lost check. So we now need to account for $300. That so I'm saying we have
How much
1,500
did we do
towards
for
it.
breakfast last year? Now it says 35. How much did we do last? Didn't think we did that.
I don't remember.
What with the.
Thursday's about to go.
But that's about it, that's about it.
That was a grant amount. Because it depends on the amount.
Okay, can I make a suggestion? Let's just work backwards. Let's take the 25,000 we are allowed. Subtract the 17,200. So that gives us 7,800 to work with, but you have already spent money. It's out the door, gone. So from the 7,800 subtract, so 1,507 minus 2,580. My, do you want me to subtract?
You get $3,730.
Yes,
No, but I'm
this
saying.
is the number that we have to say, where can we put this $3,713 in the buckets that are left?
So what I'm saying is that we did spend time at the first meeting
Oh, okay.
putting things in buckets. So
Okay.
right now, all we need to do, at least for this meeting, my understanding, is to find $300 that we did not have.
Oh.
I'm saying we have $1,500 towards
You want
graduation
$300?
We hold on. We have $1,500 allocated.
Just
Yeah,
add these two items, these line. Just add. It wasn't.
Let me propose this. For Barbara's money, we can postpone to next week. We don't have to decide now. I think it just come up. I still have to why we have to pay for it. You know, the issue. So leave the 300 to next meeting. So just leave that line, but mark it as 0.
Which one?
The past member reimbursement. I don't want make a decision right now.
That was the check you're talking about.
Yeah.
$3
yeah,
less. Why are we still over 25,000?
So
Yeah, the total is still over.
The graduation.
then because of the bribers, you have to be
And yes.
you take that off the briber.
Yeah, we.
Make it a 225.
Lower the breakfast.
And
But
lower the
the
certificate.
25 is not gonna cut it.
And lower the certificates. $1,000. We still supply, right?
Yeah. Still 1,000.
We had general supplies. What are we using as general supplies? We had a lot of the supplies and then you can use the card for.
There's a general supply that was not enough component. I don't know if it's gonna last until it's summer though, 'cause it's only $5. But I don't really think I need general supply. I mean, I have a lot of stuff.
Lower that to 200. 200.
Have we, do we need to buy any other tech equipment? Because there's still 389 listed on that line.
Yeah, why 389? Unless you guys wanna try out the out, say 50, but. I don't know.
No, so take that 389 off because in terms of finding out things that so far we've been working this with that little thing. So if we take that amount out, all right, so now we're $400 over. Okay. We're $500 over.
Just reduce
Okay,
that
so
one.
reduce the yes.
2,000. It would be the $2,000.
$2,000, fine. $2,000. $2,000. Just
Okay. For 25,000.
we're minus $13. We can be quick.
And $13 for general.
Yeah, $13.
Well,
for
so
general.
oh, I know, the general supplies history was told me that I have to get paid for it. That's me, I didn't have my paper, I've been using cash.
So how much have you spent so far on that?
It's 100 and change, so I can just, she said there's a form and I can get it from the general supplies. So that's
Okay,
what
so leave that $200 there.
Okay.
Just add the $17 in it, so $213.
Another 13.
All right, so So that's
go.
it. It's 9:52. Can we approve the $2,500 budget as is for now? 25,000. We have to revisit the reimbursement.
Once with the reimbursements after it.
We have to do that in the next meeting. So I think when we clear what can get reimbursed, what we cannot. People have to voluntarily to remove some of that. Once we prove this meeting, we send to next meeting we prove another one, we send. So I make a motion to approve this budget. Okay, so all agree, we approve the budget and because all right, after meeting and no other issues, we adjourn.
Thank you.
Nice meeting. I think we will have to. Because it's just come up. I think we have to think about that.